Hello, hello. So today I wanted to review the artist LAM, which if you're watching that you probably already know, but I wanted to look and explain maybe a little bit about how the process of the rendering, the line art, how do they do all that. I did recently actually I did a piece and I tried to do pretty much like LAM, not exactly, but I tried to take it as a big reference. And I think I have some interesting things that I uncovered. So it's gonna be chill. I'm just gonna look at some of their pieces and see why they're so good at what they're doing. So that's the most recent piece. The first thing you can probably tell is their colors is just insane. So much color on pretty much every one of their pieces. So I've seen some of their process, and actually I don't think they do a clean line art. Maybe on this one they did, I don't think so. That's something I really like about their art. It's like almost impressionistic in some ways. They also really like to put some halftones a bit everywhere. We're gonna talk about that later. It's really cool. But that one, I'm not sure what this one is. It looks like a character design piece. And they're also insane character designing. So one of their most interesting parts of the drawing is the eyes, the way they draw the eyes. And here you can see a bit more of the sketchy style that they can have, which I'm a big fan of. It looks they used only one brush, which is the opacity, just basic brush. So something that not many artists do, especially on this kind of anime style, is I don't know how it's called in English, the waterline, I think. Waterline of the eye. I think it's a really cool detail. They make it very bright, so it pops out with all the other colors. Okay, so that's one of my favorite pieces of them. They're really, really good at doing crazy expressions, very expressive faces. And you can see the details on the eyes. If you look at it, it's not realistic at all, right? The pupils. But if you look at the eyes and just the details and the shapes around the eyes, it's actually pretty realistic for an anime style. Even the mouth is pretty realistic too. It's semi-realistic, I would say. And once again, the line art is not super clean compared to most other Japanese artists, which I think makes it look so interesting. That's another one that's cool. Actually, we're gonna look at that a bit later. They have some of their art process on YouTube. Oh, actually, I just found one of the process on Twitter. So yeah, very sketchy sketch at first, and then I'm pretty sure they're not gonna do any line art really. Yeah, colors, and they're already doing the shadows basically. If you look at the skin tone, the hair, they're already doing the shadows without using any multiply layers or stuff. Then they're adding some contrast on the eyes, the tone. And then just basically just rendering with the G pen brush, I think. No, maybe it's a texture brush actually. Yeah, it's texture. Maybe it's a charcoal brush, I think. Oh, and here you can see the halftones a bit everywhere. Here, on the head. And just the contrast between the tongue and the eyes and the rest makes the big focus is the face. Yeah, and then that's it. The process is actually pretty simple. There's another one here. Very sketchy. Oops, my bad. Then they just render so fast. I think the probably the hardest parts and the part that takes the longest is the cleaning. Like cleaning all the lines and stuff. Here they're not doing it. Obviously, it's kind of a sketch. But if you look at more of the detailed pieces, like this one, I really like this one actually. Ooh, that's nice. They use so much I mean, not that much, but there's some textures a bit everywhere. On the ears here. It doesn't look like there's that much different brushes actually. Beside from like the half tones and a bit of a rust type of brush for the gold. Here you can see. Maybe they use the brush for the patterns here and here. And you can see once again the pretty semi-realistic face. Even the hand is pretty well rendered. So the way I did the study, I just started with the sketch very messy. And that's actually probably the most important part to get right. And where I struggle the most is definitely the eyes and the mouth, which is pretty unique, the way they do it on their style. But yeah, I just don't care about like doing the right lines. I just want to get the overall shape. So then I can get to another sketch, but this time it makes a bit more sense, a bit more detailed. But once again, I don't care like if there's something going over. Oh yeah, by the way, I used this brush, this one here, very nice, I love it, love that brush. I did waterline also. Then I don't know if that's how they do it. I think it probably is, but I just did it in 2 layers. So one is the base, and then I just added some details on top of it. Just all the rendering. And here's just the pupils. Here's some textures. Here's the dots. And then some adjustments of the colors. And that's just it. It's actually not super complicated. I think the most important part is to get the anatomy right. If you don't, it's gonna look weird, obviously. But even more in this style, actually. You can see the mistake pretty easily if you mess up like an eye or something. Also, something interesting that you see in most of the pieces is the way they use the hands. Because most of the pieces are pretty close to the face, but in a lot of them you can see the hands, and it's basically doing most of the motion, most of the composition is because of the way they place their hands. That one is really cool too. You can see the contrasts, like the skin and all the black, which make it very contrasty. And then the eyes and the tongue and the mouth of the snake really contrasting, really popping out, which make it like the focus. You look at the face first and then at the snake. So yeah, really cool artists. They do a lot of collaborations, and they're like on a lot of projects everywhere in Japan. Probably one of the most known artists in Japan, I think. I think they actually have their own exposition in Japan too, which is really cool. So if you want to check them out, I'm gonna put the link in the description. Thank you for watching. I hope that was a bit insightful. at least. And have a good day. Bye.